Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, so let's just dive in and let's talk about a few things. So first and foremost, I do want to talk to you guys a little bit about this report from the Great Moonshot over on Twitter. And it is actually going in depth on the XRP engagements in the last month. And we do see that it's nearing 1 billion social engagements, up about 64.1%. This is absolutely insane, but it is for great measure because lately we have been seeing a major move, not only in the SEC lawsuit, but we've been seeing a major move in regards to XRP's price action. And even right now, XRP still looks extremely coiled up. I know that the volume and OBV has been really kind of dropping right now, as you guys do see volume and then the OBV down here. RSI is also dropping a little bit. But if you look up at the top, you can see the chart. And I want to ask everyone that is in here, what formation do you see on this chart? This looks like a classic bull flag formation. Now, the only issue with this that I see is that we have seen this happen in the past where we have this bull flag formation, but then as you guys do see, we hit resistance yet again and then collapse. So from here, what I would actually like to see is something like the price action going all the way back to January of 2021 when we did have a bull flag formation. And then we started to break out, and we had a retest of support, backtest that support of the bull flag, and then we had that higher continuation all the way to $2. That would be great to see here, but if we do break down, I am still eyeing that 33 to 38 cent region, just so that you guys know. But I also want to talk to you guys a little bit about this major. This was a huge document that got released from Ripple. It's actually an ebook. We're going to be talking about this. This is talking about 2022 regional payments trends. The modernization of global payments is here. Economies, consumers, and businesses are either reaping the benefits of these improved financial services or falling behind the innovation curve. And I do have it open over here. Sorry. This is the start of it, the ebook. I was actually reading through it a little bit before this video, and I found a ton of information. I do want to go over it a little bit with you guys. So first off, we will start with number one, the slide number one, a turning point in underserved markets. They do talk about the Southeast Asia, and also the Middle East. I really kind of talk about inclusivity. They also mention that here as well. They also mention how COVID-19 streamlined the entire process. And then also 1.7 billion adults remain unbanked today. They do want to bank the unbanked. They've said this since day one. And also FX alternatives for financial institutions. Now, this one really kind of jumped out to me, and we're going to talk about that here in a second, because we do see down here like lowering FX rates, really kind of focused on that. And then down here, you know, Ripple de-risk payments by replacing gray markets. This was a big one that I actually wanted to focus on as well, because it really kind of plays into what's happening globally within the monetary system as well. So let's dive into this and actually really read this. So first off, they do put a spotlight on RippleNet. Ripple, through its payment network, RippleNet, already serves as a compelling alternative to most other payment solutions because of its combined speed, transparency, reliability, cost, lowered capital requirements, and also growth opportunities. But for those payment businesses that normally operate within also underserved markets, RippleNet also very importantly provides an efficient platform for payments businesses to connect with other high-quality licensed and regulated partners around the world. And the biggest thing that they put a focus point on here is their highly competitive FX rates, because they also do mention real-time payments, which is also huge in regard to transactional settlement and also complete transparency from start to finish, while also freeing up working capital to resolve liquidity issues. This is the big focus point. Ripple could essentially de-risk the global liquidity crisis that is unfolding rapidly right now, utilizing RippleNet with XRP. And you might be wondering, well, why do they even need XRP? A lot of people have asked me this question, and I get it quite a bit on this channel as well, and I even get it in the Discord. A lot of people will say, you know, Ripple doesn't technically need to utilize XRP for these payments, and they don't. The truth is that they actually don't need to utilize XRP to be more efficient than the traditional systems. But, and this is the big one, it is a no-brainer move to utilize XRP. And why is that? Well, let's actually go and look at this. So this is a report from 2016, all the way back on February 2016. This actually was at the same time that Ripple posted this one, February 23rd, 2016. Now this one is from CoinDesk, and it's talking about how DLT can save banks 42% on payments. Kind of sound like an insurance, salesman. You could say 42% today, but nonetheless, yeah, I mean 33% with just Ripple. This is why they don't technically need to utilize XRP, because you're already seeing 33%, savings compared to the current system, which is pretty big, right? You'd be like 33%. Wow, that's awesome. But the biggest game changer is utilizing DLT. Why is that? Well, let's go check out this article. This is on Ripple's website. This is from Monica Long, actually. It was written by her, and then this is from 2016. You'd love to see XRP being at the global bridge currency standard here. And we do see down here that this is focused on the 33% savings as well. This is it could save 33% in liquidity. So liquidity by itself is solved utilizing Ripple. But then when you provide on-demand liquidity, providing more of a liquidity savings point, but also if you do see volatility decrease with XRP, you could actually see up to 60% savings. And we actually do see that right here. You could actually see what's being lowered on every single tier list. For an example, with Ripple, you're seeing everything kind of decrease or stay the same, at least on the top three, which is foreign exchange, currency hedging, and then treasury operations. But you do see the liquidity drop, the payment operations drop, and you basically remove Basel 3. Basel 3 is removed on every single one of these. What really changes, though, as you dip into XRP, and you can actually kind of see this, is the treasury operations get substantially, decreased. The foreign exchange stays the same at 2% basically. And then the currency hedging changes slightly. Lower volatility will change rapidly. And then also treasury operations kind of stay the same as well. And then liquidity is basically thrown out the door. You get a 0.1 there. And then payment operations pretty much stays the same on all three tiers. And Basel 3 is removed on all three tiers as well. But this is a 60% deduction in those FX rates. Now do you understand why I constantly say that Ripple and XRP, when you combine the two, is essentially going to expand rapidly once the settlement is in play? This is a no-brainer move, especially if you are a financial institution. I mean, think about that. That's 60% deduction on all of those massive fees. So this is huge. And talking about the freeing up working capital, like that's also big. And at the end of the day, like that's a $27 trillion problem, and Ripple is the solution for that. And then down here, open banking on the rise in North America. This is talking about opening the banking systems, making everything kind of free, or I should say flow freely. And we do see that regions where open banking has already made its mark have seen a rise in competition and a downward pressure on margins. This has driven financial institutions to either find new revenue streams or new cost savings measures. And the emerging open banking landscape with its burgeoning crypto innovation has the opportunity to provide solutions to both. And that's why when we actually look at like the cost savings here, like this is the cost savings. So this is going to really kind of be a focus point if you are a financial institution. And they do kind of go in depth a little bit more on, crypto and stuff like that in that. And then we do see our primer on open banking. So there are a number of benefits to open banking, such as broadened revenue streams through new API-enabled products, improved customer personalization and satisfaction via increased touch points, strengthen relevance for financial institutions by diversifying their client offerings. And we do see open banking is already gaining traction in regions like the UK and Brazil. Funny enough, Ripple has been making massive strides in both of those areas, so that's no big surprise. And also, the big one down here, the trend towards open banking is buttressed by at least two other forces: U.S. consumer demand and the rise of regulatory clarity. In terms of consumer demand, the open banking report notes that with its 14,000 plus financial institutions and a growing number of fintech startups, the U.S. is likely the next frontier of the open banking evolution, as its consumers have a growing interest in accessing innovative payment experiences while still retaining control over their data. 14,000 financial institutions. That's massive. And I do believe that all of them will be on board with DLT and DLT-driven payment processing because, again, these financial institutions are getting eaten up, and a 60% deduction would be huge. But again, this requires a low volatility XRP. And what does that mean? Basically, it just means a higher valued XRP, because the higher the value of XRP, the less the markets will change in regards to, well, I should say the spread will change. But even with just regular XRP with no volatility, with no low volatility, is a 42% deduction, which is massive. That's huge. This is why XRP will succeed, especially if it does succeed in regards to going after these massive giants, which so far it has. And we do see that the Canadian government also announced after a 3-year study that they will have an open banking regime in place by the beginning of 2023, and 4 million Canadians are already using services similar to open banking. So this is huge. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, we're seeing a massive shift, and it's all centered around like crypto liquidity services as well. There's a few other ones as well, but liquidity is the big one, especially with real-time value transfer and settlement. That's the big one. And we do see down here, embracing this emerging market alongside new crypto technologies will allow financial service providers to realize new fronts for growth. And they do mention Europe. Europe has been ready for a while. They've been moving very fast. But I do believe that the U.S. is probably going to be next, especially with many of the other regions around the world really kind of moving, very swiftly. We do see the APAC is leading the way for instant payments. We actually recently just talked about this. 20% of 250 digital banks worldwide based in the APAC region, which it is no surprise that Ripple is going after. Ripple has been focused on the APAC region for a very long time. And in fact, they do actually look at, alternative payment rails to better facilitate both cross-border payments, and domestic instant payments serves to bolster the region's growing stature and leadership across the payment sector. 2 great areas for Ripple to go after. And yeah, we do see down here that 58%, well, I should say, let's actually start from the top. Regional leaders to highlight include Singapore, ranked in the world's top 5 most competitive financial centers, which has enacted clear and effective governmental regulation and support of innovative payment technologies and achieved a 58% increase in instant payments in 2021. And the Philippines, which saw virtual currency transactions jump 71% from 2020 to 2021, substantially driven by new solutions like crypto-assisted remittances and digital payment options. This is huge. And Ripple is focused on both of those areas, by the way. And what are instant payments and why should I care? They go in depth on instant payments just so that you guys know, just so like I could easily break down these. So in regards to, real-time instant payments, we won't see that until something like on-demand liquidity is adopted in. For an example, we actually do see them talking about with 24/7, 365 availability, transfers can be processed at any time, including weekends and holidays. This dramatically speeds up the global flow of capital and gives consumers always-on access to their funds. In the case of transparency, payment service providers, PSPs, can further benefit from the use of services like RippleNet's account lookup API, which allows both sender and receiver to exchange information via flexible API calls on many types of metadata, including validation of a beneficiary's account details prior to sending a payment. Then they do also mention the crypto solutions, such as on-demand liquidity, also can eliminate the need for pre-funding, which opens the door for real-time settlement. Real-time settlement and lower-cost payments in local currency are also made possible regardless of funding source or destination, thanks to the flexibility of crypto, e.g. XRP, which acts as a bridge currency between sender and receiver. This is why, when we actually look at the growing demand of this area, it is going to continue to be a pressure standpoint. And what do I mean by that? Well, I think that every single major bank and every major financial institution out there dealing within payments is going to be pressured into real-time settlement. And right now, yeah, there's a lot of solutions out there that are trying to build towards this, but nothing quite like on-demand liquidity as a service. Like on-demand liquidity as a service is game changing. That's why I do focus on like these cost bases, because these cost bases are real. I mean, these are from 2016. So can you imagine if these have changed? I mean, the efficiency of the of this entire system has been upgraded and changed greatly. So to me, I would say like this probably has changed. We're probably at even higher percentage rates, but who exactly knows? But there's so much more within this. I mean, honestly, I could go on and on about, what's going to be happening within this, but this could easily be like a 30, 40, 50-minute long video of me just breaking down these reports. I really do highly advise you guys to go check this out because they go in depth on everything happening around crypto. I mean, this is talking about number of projects selected by Brazil's central bank to develop a central bank digital currency. And this is centered on DeFi, NFTs, the metaverse, everything happening around crypto, including interoperability within the LATAM area, which I've always talked about with Quant. And there's just so much happening here. I mean, and by the way, they do even say like they are focused on really kind of piecing together this fragmented system that, the LATAM area is really kind of trading within. And then down here, the MENA region, leapfrogging towards a digital currency future. I mean, like, everything is happening so rapidly, and a lot of this has taken place in just the last 2 years alone. I mean, in the last 10 months alone, we have seen a massive, and I'm talking a massive move and transition away from, okay, crypto's nothing, crypto's this, crypto's that, whatever, to all of a sudden, okay, crypto's the future, maybe we should focus on, crypto, and we are seeing a major, move towards it. And I don't know if this article does mention anything about Swift, so here's regional adoption. This is just talking about Swift. I don't think that they mention anything else with Swift. Let me check out XRP, because I know that XRP is mentioned multiple times within this. There's on-demand liquidity. This is the XRP ledger. And then, yeah, so this is the XRP ledger talking about Ripple CBDC solution. Now, this is also one I want to talk about. So we'll end off the video with this, because we've really kind of just went over quite a bit of what's happening around some of these major areas, more so like piecing together Latin America's fractured treasury flows, which, by the way, like this is actually a large amount of money if you guys did not notice. Also, like the Brazil announcement was a very large amount of money, because it's us taking a stepping stone into the $6.6 trillion market. And they're even talking more so about Europe having an accelerated shift. There's a lot in this. I'm telling you guys, definitely go and check this out. But I do want to end off with the CBDC solution. So as we do really kind of look at CBDCs, and as we do look at the XRP Ledger offers a massive amount of use cases. And we're talking about real world use cases, not, your typical trash use cases that we see within a lot of these major DLTs. We see a lot of, DLT usability being kind of centered down to like a box, which is like, okay, hey, you can mint and sell NFTs and buy NFTs, but that's basically it. Like, we want something more here. That's why I love the XRP Ledger, because of the versatility of the usability within the real world application area. So with the CBDC on a private version of the XRP Ledger, which is a private ledger base point, you could actually see the entire breakdown of this. So the future of money. Central bank digital currencies have the potential to help digitize entire economies and the powerful next step on the journey towards the internet of value. We do see that the Ripple CBDC solution offers these important benefits: stability, security, and resilience, financial inclusion through easy access, interoperability with disparate payment systems and overlay services, reduced energy consumption as well. And this really kind of goes in depth on a few things, and this is why over 100 countries are currently exploring CBDCs. And then I think, so that actually is the endpoint. So we could actually look at this a little bit more. So I thought that there was a little bit more to this, just because we've seen another report on this that actually kind of broke this down a little bit more, but it's okay, totally fine. So what do I believe is going to happen with CBDCs and with the XRP Ledger? So first off, I do believe that the XRP Ledger itself is going to be a big winner with CBDC issuance. Why do I believe this? Well, I honestly believe that the XRP Ledger has proved itself over the last decade as being extremely stable and reliable, etc. I also do believe that Ripple CBDC solution, as they do mention over here, has incredible benefits, which we just went over. Now combine that with, RippleNet with XRP, and you could have a recipe for a massive disruption. And we're talking about a disruption that will disrupt trillions on top of trillions of dollars, which, in my opinion, is going to be very, very exciting for XRP's value as well. Because remember, the more utility that a token has, the higher the price is. And we've already seen a lot of CBDC solutions go live on the XRP ledger. And they actually do mention the two ones over here, the two major ones at least. And I think that this is just the beginning. I think that we're going to see a lot more adoption happening in regards to the XRP ledger from the CBDC side of things. There's still a lot of announcements that we have yet to see. And I do believe that, I want to say it was Ashish Burla, but it might have been somebody else that did say that we will see a lot more CBDC announcements going forward. So we definitely have to wait for those. But also, at the end of the day, to wrap this video fully live up, so there's a ton of information in this still, talking about like the liquidity hub and all that kind of stuff. This is a massive breakdown. But to really kind of wrap this up, what I really want to get across to you guys is the fact that there is nothing like this technology. Will XRP be the global bridge currency? A lot of people have asked me this, and I don't have a clear answer just because I can't give you guys a clear answer. But there's one thing that I can give you a clear answer on. The fact that Ripple wants to be the main winner around the $27 trillion issue with Nasha Vasho accounts, but they also want to be the big winner around the $156 trillion currently market size of cross-border payments. It's morphing into a $250 trillion market by 2027. That's a 5-year span. And do you honestly think that in 5 years, Ripple will not be a global competitor to every single major system out there? They already are. Why Ripple has been focused on, from the SEC. You really got to question yourself on why Ripple, out of all of the other major companies, and XRP, out of all the other major currencies in this space, was targeted. It's because what they have solved here is insane. They're cutting out on each one of these, 33%, 42%, 60%, they're cutting out all the middlemen. All of the middlemen that hold a monopoly-controlled system in place around the traditional banking sector. Disrupting that disrupts the core of the financial system, and you are not going to get away with that easily at all. But I do believe that the fight is crumbling underneath the SEC, and I do believe that we will see a clear win or settlement in due time. And once that does happen, the shackles are broken and XRP will be unleashed. And I am so excited for that day. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys have more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night. Wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.